On this episode of the Red and Gold Report, we're going to be looking at the Chiefs' win against the Las Vegas Raiders in the final week of the regular season on Saturday. Now, I think some people think that this victory wasn't a big deal. I mean, you expect the Chiefs to beat a Raiders team easily, right? Particularly when they don't have Derek Carr starting for them. But I actually think that this was a big win for the Chiefs. Yes, of course, partly because it clinched the first seed in the AFC playoffs and a first round bye. That is incredible. It's also incredible to be ending the season at 14-3 with yet another AFC West title under our belt. All of that is great. But maybe just as importantly, this was the complete win the Chiefs needed to prove to themselves that they could fix some of their issues heading into this postseason. And they particularly cleaned up two of the big issues that had begun to be real concerns. The first one was turnovers. The Chiefs won the turnover battle in this game against the Raiders 2-0. The Chiefs did not cough the ball up once, but they had an interception and a fumble. They actually had another forced fumble that was recovered by the Raiders, so it was nearly a turnover differential of 3. It was a turnover differential of positive 2, which is great because this has been an issue of concern throughout the season. So this is a big win for the Chiefs to really win the turnover battle in the final game of the regular season. And second, the Chiefs cleaned up their issue with mistakes on special teams. There were no missed kicks. All the extra kicks went in, all the extra field goals went in, all the extra points, no fumbles on returns. Tommy Townsend had a fantastic game if you were actually watching. He had a fantastic game punting with a 49-yard average, 2 punts within the 5-yard line, including a 61-yard punt that ended within the 5-yard line. Look. Like I've mentioned on this channel for weeks, you cannot go into the postseason. You can't go into the playoffs thinking you're going to win games while losing the turnover differential and having bad special teams play. But in this game, the Chiefs proved to themselves and they proved to everyone else that they can turn these issues around. And that is actually what got me excited about this game. Now, who were the winners of this game who made the victory possible? Well, let's start over on defense. Chris Jones proved yet again that he is the best defensive tackle in the entire NFL. He had an outstanding game. He had 9 total pressures. 9! That's unbelievable from interior defensive linemen. He had a 29% pass rush win rate. My goodness, he had 2.5 sacks and 2 tackles for loss. It kind of just left me wondering, why in the world is he not in the national conversation for Defensive Player of the Year? He's the best defensive tackle in the league. Mike Dana had an incredible game. Even if the announcers didn't care to notice, the dude had 2 strip sacks, which that's amazing in itself, but watch the tape back. What you're going to find is if you watch the game again, the Chiefs were moving him often inside the defensive tackle. He's a defensive end, but he was playing a lot of defensive tackle in this game on obvious passing situations, and he was a menace from there. Now, Mike Dana is a shorter, stouter defensive end, and I love the idea of placing him inside, kicking him inside to be a pass rusher on obvious passing downs. So it was a great game by Dana, but also a good move by the coaching staff. Rookie defensive end George Karlaftis also played well. He had a sack, a tackle for loss, fumble recovery. The Greek Freak is on an absolute tear with 6.5 sacks over the last 7 weeks of the regular season. That's just really a positive development heading into the postseason, but also for the future of this defense. Safety Juan Thornhill played well. He had a nice interception. He had 7 tackles, a tackle for loss. He was often found, ensuring that, Jacobs really didn't get going much for the Raiders. And I also got to mention that while his safety running mate Justin Reid has had a pretty poor season, he actually had a very solid outing, this game. I think it might have been his best game as a Chief, including a very nice deflection on a deep pass to Waller. Also, rookie linebacker Leo Chanel did a good job taking on blockers at the line of scrimmage. Over on offense, the Chiefs' interior offensive line had another solid outing. Center Creed Humphrey played well, particularly on the move, and both the Chiefs' offensive guards played well, with Tooney and Smith allowing a grand total of 0 pressures, 0 sacks on 31 pass blocking snaps. Enthusiastic running back Isaiah Pacheco might have only received 8 carries, but he had a great 8-yard average. His fellow running back Jerick McKinnon added yet another receiving touchdown to his season, making 9 receiving TDs for him on the year, which is just incredible. Wide receiver Justin Watson only had 1 catch, but, it was that 67-yarder to start the game, and it was enough to lead all the Chiefs receivers in yards for the game. Wide receiver Kadarius Toney also had himself a game. In one 2-play stretch in the second quarter, he had a catch, followed by this incredibly elusive run for a touchdown on trick play. The play was actually called back on a penalty that was a bad penalty. So what did Toney do? Well, he took an end around for a touchdown on the very next play anyway. He is an incredible physical talent. It's going to be interesting to watch him in the postseason, as he has more than just a few weeks in this system. And really, this is like receiving a first-round talent for a future third rounder following this midseason trade for him. And I'm excited every time he gets the ball in his hands. So that is who played well. But there's something else we've got to mention, and that's Mr. Patrick Mahomes. With this game, Mahomes now has the most passing yards in a single season ever in the NFL. And while there are plenty games still left to be played this weekend on Sunday, it would appear that Mahomes is going to lead the league this season in passing yards, passing touchdowns, passes over 20 yards, passes over 40 yards, and first down passes, which leaves me wondering, who in the world, in their right mind, does not believe that this man is the NFL's MVP? I know we all think he is. But now we turn our attention to the playoffs. The first round bye is going to be big. Here's why. We have players like Ladarius Sneed and Joe Tooney and Nick Bolton and Sky Moore, Harrison Butker, Mecole Hardman. They're all trying to fully get past injuries right now. And I think that this extra week off is going to be huge in putting us in the position to walk into the playoffs fully healthy. But what do you think? What do you think of this win? Do you think it was just another kind of ho-hum expected victory over the Raiders? Or do you think this is a win where the Chiefs really proved they could overcome some of the concerns that we have seen this season? Leave me your comments in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and go Chiefs!